Welcome to our first and official iinspire 100-day rapid results challenge. You're excited. I want to hear you say yes.
Yes.
Yes. One more time. If you're really excited to begin the best, most intense, most incredible, and outstanding 100 days of your life, I want to hear you say yes. All right, then let's rock out. Take 20 seconds. She broke your heart and then she ran away. I guess you should have known. I guess you should have known that I will talk. But even if the stars and I never want you back into my life. Let's give a round of applause to all our 100-day challenge participants. Yes. Hello. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to our first official iinspire 100-day rapid results challenge. My name is Yahli. I'm a coach entrepreneur and a rock star, and I'll be your coach throughout the next 100 days. And I'm so incredibly, unbelievably excited to start this journey with you. A moment before I do, I'm going to begin by going over some ground rules and explaining a little bit about, using the Zoom app on here, just in case you're using it for the first time. So we're going to go over that. We're going to respect each other. If you guys can clear away anything that doesn't belong on this call right now, I'd really appreciate that. So let's begin our ground rules with something that's very familiar to those of you who know my calls, and that is when to mute yourselves. So on these calls, a lot of times, it's really hard to control everybody's lines and what's happening on them. So please make sure that you notice when you're not muted, okay? So if you're using a phone, you want to tap your phone, or you want to use *6 to mute and *6 to unmute. That's if you're on the phone. I will mention that if there's too much noise on the line, I don't know where it's coming from, even the people on the phone will be muted, and sometimes you cannot unmute yourself if I mute you. So those of you on the phone, take note and take control over that and mute yourselves. Those of you using computer, apps, tablets, we're going to go over some technical aspects of using the Zoom platform, which is incredible. So let's begin. If you're using a phone app, okay, or one of your tablets, what you want to do is you want to use the Zoom this way. If you're on video, you can swipe to the left and see multiple screens of people. It's about 4 or 5 at a time. My video and my audio are coming from 2 different sources, so I'm not sure how it's displayed on your phone. You may have to find my video if you're not hearing and seeing me at the same time, but I'm there. Now, those of you using, oh, by the way, some more functions on the phone, play around with it. You'll find your mute button. You'll find a way to raise your hands. Just don't be shy, and you can play around with it. Just don't share your screen. I'm going to block that out right now because that's a function that we've had trouble with before. There we go. All right. Now, if you're using a computer, there are a bunch of things you can do. One of the things that I love recommending doing is you want to see everybody at the same time. I call it the Brady Bunch effect. So you're going to see a bunch of Brady bunches here. And the way to do that is it's easier for some reason if you're not on full screen. Then you can play with your mouse on the top right-hand side and find a button where you can toggle between speaker view and gallery view. So gallery view is going to allow you to see everyone at the same time. Those of you doing it for the first time are probably like, whoa, I didn't even know I was here. So yes, we have 82 participants on the line this morning. So
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. So you guys can control seeing everybody by pressing the arrows on the right and left hand sides, because there are actually 4 pages to view from, and the first 2 have people on video, so you don't want to miss out on their incredible faces. So I'm also going to be playing around and seeing all of you. But this is why you need to use some more functions here, okay? Some of the functions you're going to want to use is the raise hand function. That'll really help out. Those of you who are on the phone, I'm really sorry. I'll always give a chunk of time for those on the phones to speak up, but the participation is easier if you're using the the app or the video. What you want to do on the bottom, there's a manage there's a participants area, and you can find a way to raise your hand under there. So if there's a need to raise your hand, if I'm asking a question or anything like that, it'll be easier for me to manage it that way. Another function that you have here that's pretty cool, and those of you on phones or tablets, you guys have a raise hand function too. It's just a little more complicated to find it. Another cool feature that you have down below is you have the chat, okay? The chat is really cool because you can say hello to everybody. You can private message people if you want to talk behind my back and say all kinds of incredible things, right? That's what you were going to say? Yes. And you can also message everybody. If there is something urgent, important, something that I'm not noticing and I should, then please someone, you know, step up, which we're going to do a lot of in the next 100 days, and speak up and let me know. So notice the messages down below in case there's something important. Another thing that you can use on the Zoom app, bottom left-hand side, you have you know, a way to mute yourself, audio functions if your audio is not working or anything like that, and you can stop and start your video. If you're not on video, I really invite you guys to be on video, because those of you who are on video, how fun is this?
Fun!
Yes. It's very, very cool that there are so many, 86 participants and everyone's muted. I love you guys for that and really appreciate it. And
you're in Israel.
And I'm in Israel. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, we have participants from all over the world here today, which I really want to acknowledge. So we're going to take a moment to do that. But just a moment beforehand, one more thing, clear away any distractions. And I say these on the morning calls. Those of you who are on the iinspire morning calls, you know what I'm talking about. But those of you who don't, clear away any distractions. This one, focus, is my favorite one, because it's not only about clearing physical distractions, which you should, by the way, if your phone can ring, or if you're, I don't know, something, your cow can moo in the background, just, you know, shut it off just for the time of this call. And the reason I love focus is because it's really all about your listening, and we're going to talk about ways of listening too. You want to listen to these calls from your life. And I know I say these on the morning calls, but here on the challenge call, it's even more important that you listen from your life, okay? Listen from your life means that there's something, a purpose, a reason that you are here on this call today, okay? And for that reason, you want to be fully engaged and really just clear away anything else that doesn't belong here. Trust me, if you listen for it, you'll hear the purpose of you being on this call and the reason, and you'll be that much more empowered. Now, lastly, one of the rules that I love the most is have fun, which means celebrate, enjoy yourself, you know, be out there. How many times in our lives do we have conference calls with people from all over the world? People here are like, every day we go on the morning calls. Yeah, but you know, in our ordinary lives, in our extraordinary lives, we normally don't have these situations. So here you want to feel safe and at home, especially on this 100-day challenge, safe to rock out, to party. It's really about celebrating life, and this is an opportunity for all of us to celebrate life together, because the purpose of iinspire, the mission of iinspire, is to empower millions of people to live a life that they love. We'll talk more about that purpose, but if you really want to be one of those people or to inspire other people to do the same, you got to live it and you got to give it. So we're going to practice that for just a second. I want to see that you guys are really getting it. And this is where you practice unmuting. So again, unless you have background noise and you don't want to disturb the call, you can unmute yourself so we can just practice celebrating a little bit and having fun. I want you guys really playing full out in this. So, ready? Let's go! I want you to welcome 89 beautiful, amazing challenge participants on the line this morning. All right. Let's make it even louder and rock out, you guys. All right. If you're here for the first time, you're going to get the hang of this, I promise. It just gets better. And, you know, if you're freaking out thinking, what, I thought I would come on this conference call, you know, we're going to talk about a challenge. It's going to be very serious. We are serious. We're serious about living life to the fullest. So this is a part of what it feels like. Now you guys are welcome to mute yourselves back. There's still noise on the line. Okay. Thank you. All right. So let's jump into some other things that we're going to do on these calls. And that's why the ground rules are a little bit different. So I really just want you guys listening into this so that you get more of a hang of what I'm talking about. I'm just going to open the file here. All right. One of the things we're committed to that is number one, and you're going to hear a lot about this throughout the next 100 days, is integrity. Okay? Integrity, we've spoken about this on the last call, on the previous call that we were preparing for this call from. But integrity really is being your word. It's really living up and owning who you want to be in life. And it's standing behind everything that you say you'll do and everything that you want to be being. And a part of that, a major part of that, is arriving on time. So as most of you guys did today, you want to arrive on time and show up on time, not only to the meetings here, but to all of the meetings that you're going to have with your accountability buddy, with your mastermind group, with everyone in your life as well. So see, the reflection of what you do here on the challenge is going to reflect outward into your world. So the way you want to treat these calls is the way you want your life to be. If these calls, if you make them work for you, if you show up 100% to all of these calls, fully focused, fully engaged, with love, with purpose, that's the way your life is going to start showing up for you. That's how you're going to start showing up in life. And we're going to practice that together. These calls are just a small part of it so that we really get a sense of how it's going for everyone. And we get to share with each other and listen to breakthroughs and see everyone growing at the same time and also getting challenged, which is a part of what this is about. But we want to show up with integrity. We want to respect each other's time. And I want to give you an example around this, okay? If you knew that this call right now was with one person that was the most inspiring to you, God, I don't know, your favorite coach, your most famous, idol. If you knew you had this hour and 10 minutes, 70 minutes with them, and you knew that you put all your money on the line, that you've waited for months for that meeting, how would you show up? Would you be there on time? Why would you be there on time? What would it mean about you if you were on time? Would you be doing multiple things at the same time, or would you be fully focused and engaged? Why would you be fully focused and engaged? Really think about it. And by them, by that person in front of you being who they are for you. This idol, this inspiration, this, you know, role model. What does that make you feel about yourself? If you thought of all of these things right now, you saw an image in your head probably for each one of those categories that I just mentioned. So you have a unique opportunity, and I really want you to get this. You have a unique opportunity to create these calls the way you want them to be, okay? How you decide to make these calls is how you're going to experience these calls, and it's all up here in your head. Okay, so if you show up for each person in your mastermind group as if they are the head coach, the leader, the one person that's most important to you, what are you going to look like? How are you going to behave? How are they going to feel? What's going to become possible on these calls? What if they listen to you that way? What if every time you showed up to one of your meetings, you felt like the most inspiring leader ever, no matter what you felt like that day? It was the worst day ever. You got all the calls, you're stressed, you know, but you show up to that call, and who you are to that person is this incredible leader that they're inspired and empowered by. Just think of the possibilities that could be created when 2 people, 3 people, 5 people join forces and behave that way together. Think of what can be created. Think of the way your mind will work. Think of how you're going to speak, to sound. How are you going to sit? Are you going to be slouching, or are you going to be sitting up? Are you going to be breathing, you know, fast because you're full of adrenaline and excitement, or are you going to be slow and bored? Just think of all the different effects that it's going to have on you. Now, you're going to be able to practice these things in your life, and we're going to talk more about them throughout the challenge. But I want you to bring them here. Be an example to that. And when we do our meetings here every week, you want to show off what you've learned. So you can begin right here, right now, by really just choosing who every single person on each little window over there is for you. You can say hellos to everyone like the Brady Bunch. And you can really just choose in your mind who they are for you. Even if you've never seen them before, you've never met them before, I promise you that before every call that I've ever started, ever since iinspire began, I've been creating who people are for me without even knowing who they are. And I was shocked and stunned and surprised to learn that not only was I right, but they exceeded my expectations. So it's all in here. It's what you create. And I want us to all create together a power of who everyone is for us. So I'm going to give you a short opportunity to do that today. For the next calls, I'm going to trust you that you do. But today, let's practice together. And a part of what I really love is I love to kind of give a little space for us sometimes to close our eyes and to connect to ourselves, to our breathing, and to use the power of visualization, which is really, really powerful. And
I cannot hear you.
Yahli will be right with us. Yahli, we can't hear you.
okay, sorry. I was actually saying that there's some noise on the line. I don't know if you guys are noticing, but it'd be great if you can mute yourself. All right, so we're going to begin right now. I want you guys to close your eyes. Take a moment. You know, sit down. Move everything aside. And just focus on your breath for a moment. Inhale in through your nose slowly. And exhale through your mouth. Just regulate your breath for a moment. Every time you inhale, I want you to just feel that air enter through your nose slowly. Every time you exhale, focus on that warmth of your breath. I want you to take yourself to a place right now of deciding who you want to be on the call today. If you could be anything, anyone, any way, what would inspire you? What would be outstanding? What would be remarkable? I want you to see that in your mind. I want you to be that in your mind. If everyone on this call could be leaders, the kind of leaders you're most inspired by, 91 incredible leaders that are here for you, for your success, for your dreams, to see you thrive, to see you go for those dreams that you've never accomplished, to pick you up when you can't pick yourself up, to see you do things that you never imagined that you were capable of. If they were there for you, and if you could be there for them, what would that look like? What would that feel like? Take in those feelings and just inhale them in and lock them into your body. And get ready, because in a moment when you open your eyes, I want you to get that this is where you are right now. And I want you to celebrate it.
I'm fresh to death looking plush. Ladies can't get enough.
If you're excited to be on this call today with all these incredible leaders,
They asking you, I'm
you
not
can unmute yourself and make some noise.
It's going on. And it's going superstar. Get out. And you may not have it, I might have just broke the law. Get out. It's your time to grab it and I make this whole thing yours.
All right, round of applause again for everyone. Okay, let's get back to it. So now that you understand who you are, and sorry, there's still some noise, right, on the line? I might mute everybody. Oh, there we go. I found the noise. Okay. So today's call is really just an introduction to all the calls that we're going to have here. It's an introduction to everyone, to your beautiful faces and energy. And I think you all can feel it. And it's an introduction to a few of the things that we're going to create on these calls. The purpose of these calls are to get you fully engaged in everything that you can accomplish. And tomorrow morning, on Monday morning, you're all going to begin an incredible, one-of-a-kind program called Rapid Results. And we'll talk about it more. But a moment beforehand, I want you guys to understand that you're going to begin a program that will, on one hand, demand little time from you, but on the other hand, will demand a lot of focus from you. And I've told this to several people before. This program is very intense, but you guys can really choose how much to spend time around it or how much to what's really important about it is your focus. So you're focused on your goals. You're focused on the purpose of why you're following the program. As long as you take that with you and you take this being that you just brought to this call with you throughout this challenge, you are going to experience the best that you can throughout these calls. Another purpose for these calls is, to get to engage with all of you guys and follow up with the progress that you've been making throughout the 100 days and the process that you've been making on your mastermind groups and accountability buddies. Now, we have very large calls here, as you guys can see, and we're not going to be able to share individually on these calls. So what I've created are mastermind groups. That's where you really get to share yourself authentically, deeply, wholeheartedly. And in order for me to be able to keep track of each and every one of you, what I've created is a special coaching program for the leader of every one of your masterminds, so that once a week, all the leaders come together on a call with me and they can share your progress. So when you're in teams of just 3 to 5 people, it's way easier for the leader to really share where you guys are at. We'll talk about more about those in just a moment. We have to touch on a lot of things, as you guys noticed, but the purpose of these calls mostly is going to be those shares. It's going to be an opportunity for you guys to step up, to ask questions, to get your questions answered, your questions answered, to get all the information that you need, but mostly to hear fabulous shares, show progress, and share this celebrating of people's success throughout this program. How you'll do on this program is directly related to what you will bring to the plate. Same thing with your groups. If you're looking at your mastermind group, and most of you have been on the file already, and you're saying, oh shoot, that person is from that country. Oh shoot, that person's name doesn't work well with my imagination. Oh shoot, it's not it's the smallest, it's the last mastermind group. It's not, I wanted to be on the first one. Whatever it is that your mind is saying to yourself, all those things don't matter. There is no right or wrong mastermind group. There is only what you bring to the group. And I'm serious about that. And you guys are going to see that that's true. And time again in my life, I've seen that with groups that I've been on. Same thing with accountability buddies, okay? The accountability buddies are going to be picked randomly. If you guys want, you can write down, the area that you are in on the accountability buddy sheet. And I can make sure that they're at least randomized within your, well, not area, but country, time zone, we could say. So that it makes more sense. But your accountability buddy is a mirror of yourself. If you don't like something about your accountability buddy, ask yourself if you've ever had issues with that with yourself. And if both of you do that on both sides, and if you communicate it out loud, incredible things are going to happen. And that brings me to another aspect of these calls, sharing. Sharing, we all love sharing is caring, but sharing is being outstanding. And when you share with people, you not only give them a way of, tapping into your life, a way of being okay with who they are because they see that you're vulnerable too and you're a person too, but you're also stepping up a notch from the place that you were, because sharing is it's like a level of acceptance. It's saying, you know what, I want to share. This is what I'm going through. This is what's happening. I'm beyond that. I'm here just to share that so that you, if you're going through something similar, you can, take something away from what I'm sharing. All these thoughts, all these fears, all these feelings that we have when we go through life and we walk around, doing all the things that we do, the fears that come up, the questions that come up, the things that we tell ourselves that's not empowering. I'm gonna land something on you right now. I'm gonna drop something. They are not in real life. They're all up here. They don't even exist. You know, if you don't say them out loud, no one's going to know them. I know you're walking around thinking, but it's true, but I'm this and I'm that and I'm never confident and I'm never this. And they're only here. Trust me, the other person, they're worrying about the stuff they have up here about themselves, not about you. So you not sharing because of all these unempowering thoughts in your mind is like not being on the court in your life. It's not being a player. It's, you know, sitting on the sidelines and watching other people play. And that's not who we're committed to being here on the 100-day challenge calls, is it?
No.
No. Hell no.
Right. So
Not at all.
on this journey, one of the things I'm requesting from you guys is to step up in sharing, step up in be playing full out. Whatever it is you're not used to doing in your everyday life, this is the time to do it. You took something on, you signed up. That already means that who you want to be is you want to be someone who's in the driver's seat rather than the passenger seat in your life. And I am so committed that each and every one of you, plus all the people that couldn't make it here today, feel exactly as empowered as everyone else to be that person and to step up and to achieve all the things that they've always wanted. So let's give that a round of applause just for a moment, because I see you guys just really dying to celebrate that. So you can unmute yourselves.
We're making it.
Yes.
The only thing we know how to do.
I want to give you a brief overview quickly on the program that you guys will be beginning tomorrow. I want to give time for some questions. We're not going to be able to answer everyone's questions, but that's what we have our Facebook group for. We can continue over there and make sure that all your questions are answered. And I'm going to give you just a sneak peek. Those of you who want, I can share my screen with you, those of you who are on video. And you can get a little bit of a glimpse of what you have waiting for you tomorrow. Also, I suggest, and I know it's Mother's Day, by the way, happy Mother's Day. I know it's a lot to take on today if you guys are busy with your families, but remember challenge, the word challenge, you know, the meaning of it. If you make it literal, you'll challenge yourself to take a few minutes today and begin some of the processes that can make it easier for you tomorrow. Okay, so I want you guys stepping up today, even after this call, or at some point today, leave yourself a chunk of time just to get prepared to start powerfully tomorrow, because the last thing you guys want to do is mess up your first day and start, you know, giving yourself excuses for why you haven't been following through with the first week. All right, we'll talk more about that, but let me start by sharing what you guys will get tomorrow. So first of all you guys are going to get an email from the one and only Jairek Robbins. Now, Jairek, who, by the way, says hi to everyone and said he can't wait to hear about all your successes and accomplishments, which is exactly why he's going to come on here every month. So Jairek Robbins is going to email you a daily video, every Monday through Friday, Monday to Thursday, 5 days a week. And you're going to be able to view those videos. They're 5-minute videos, but they come with some worksheets for you guys to do. Here's what it looks like when you log in for the first time. All right. So this is the rapid results formula area here. It's like a website, and you have all the weeks that we're going to go through together here on the top. We're just here right before the first week. And you're going to get a welcome screen, all these good things. And once you start your first week, and mine is unlocked, but yours is going to be locked until, you know, the day that is open, you're going to see all these videos by Jairek that arrive to you in the mail. Another sneak peek that you're going to get is what your first day is. So prepare for tomorrow, and I'm sorry to ruin the surprise, but defining your, and it's 90 days, so just turn it into 90. So defining your 90 days vision and goals, okay? And you're going to see a video, and underneath the video, you're going to have a little sheet there, a PDF file. You can save it to your computer and start working on it immediately after you see the video. Now, my recommendation is you want to make sure that you already step up by planning your week ahead of time in a way that works with the program. So it doesn't demand a lot of your time, but my recommendation is set your alarm clocks to 15 minutes before every day, to 15 minutes earlier. It's the best way to begin your day. When we go about our day and we leave everything to last minute, normally what happens is all the excuses come up, you know? Just like going to the gym or anything else you've experienced, you'll have so many reasons once the day begins for why you cannot spend the time and do this. But there is not one person here, and definitely not even one person who, even Obama has 5 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day, okay? So if they can do it, we can definitely do it, even though we're all kind of superheroes here today as well. Then we can definitely find that time. Best time is in the morning. Set your alarm clocks earlier. Start by watching the video and then engaging in doing the worksheet. Now, I see some of you guys have a piece of paper and pen. That's awesome. You should definitely have these on our calls. Sometimes I'm going to give you guys exercises and you're going to want to write them down. Sometimes I'm not, but you're still going to want to be brilliant and incredible enough to, you know, write down your takeaways or any quotes or anything that inspires you. I'm usually not going to be talking this long in a row, by the way. It's really about you. These calls are about you. But on today's call, I want you to get a little bit more info, so I'm talking more. So one of the things that I want you to take on when you start the program tomorrow, before you start the program tomorrow, is because the first one is identifying your visions and goals. You want to start, you know, picking your brain and spending today, because it's a Sunday, even though it's Mother's Day, you want to spend today kind of thinking about what those can be. Okay? And you're going to get more tools tomorrow to write them down a certain way, and you're going to spend the first 2 weeks around your goals, and it's going to be amazing. But you really just want to have them in your mind. Think of different categories in your life. Think of finance, think of relationships, think of family, think of, I don't know, friends, communication, career. Whatever it is, you want to think about those things that either you've kind of never dared doing and you want to kind of step it up, or those things that you've been postponing for a long time. Or it's just those things that you keep starting and not following through and you want accountability for. Those are the types of goals that you should find for your 100 days. And you're going to get more tools for this from Jairek tomorrow. So you don't want to just start, you know, doing the whole thing, but definitely touch on different areas that inspire you, different areas that are meaningful to you, and preferably even think of kind of one thing that if that had to be your primary focus, then, you know, it would be that. Because we always want at least to have kind of one thing completed, and the rest of the things, you don't have to be a perfectionist, right? It's not about, and I have to explain this because not everyone was here on the challenge before. It's not always about, you know, saying, I'm going to make, I don't know, $50,000 a month by the time I end this challenge, and you make $40,000 a month. Poor you. But it's not about, you know, making that goal exactly. It's about making major progress. So if you were making $10,000 and now you're making 40, you're pretty much closer to your goal than you would have been if you didn't take on the 100-day challenge. So that was just some kind of example, but you could definitely see that's something that you can implement in different areas of your life. So even relationships, right? Think of those people, those areas in your life that you want major progress in. Things with your family or relationships that do or don't exist, breakthroughs there. You can commit to specific outcomes and goals, but if you'll have major progress there, your life won't look the same. And even the 100 days that we have here are real momentum towards all those things that are going to come about. And you'll see that just by the power of focusing on these goals, which is a major part of this challenge, things are going to start manifesting themselves for you. And just things are going to show up in your life that wouldn't have shown up if you didn't have your focus there. So your focus, your intentions, that's number one. They want you to start working on that today. Start visualizing what your life is going to look like once you achieve those outcomes or major progress in those areas. So you can write that down for number two. So number one would be kind of, exploring the different areas where you'd like to have your goals, being less specific or more specific. Tomorrow you can really just work on refining that. Number two could be visualizing. I really encourage you to do that. Visualize it, see yourself there, feel yourself there, and, just connect to that part of you that could be really, really excited about stepping up and being in that place. And another aspect we're going to run into right now is your mastermind groups and accountability buddies. I know all of you guys are so super excited about that aspect of this challenge. And this is really what I'm bringing in because, okay, let's just say this. Jairek Robbins, he knows what he's doing. So a major part of these 100 days, the 90-day rapid results program, I give him all the space to do the work with you, with me. I'm following the program too at the same time with you guys. My trust is there for Jairek to rock out with us for 90 days and make us, really achieve rapid results. But the reason that Jairek and I teamed up is that we're bringing in an aspect to this 100-day challenge that doesn't exist in other areas. And sometimes it's that one factor that, is the difference from us, between us, following through and between things falling through. And I really just want you to grasp that area is accountability. Because how many times have you kind of, started that diet, but not, went all the way or maintained it over time? Or how many times have you set a goal for yourself or a New Year resolution and found that it's on the list time and time again, year after year? Or, what about programs? How many of you guys ever purchased a program that you were really excited about and were really committed to following up with? And I know some specific people and some specific programs out there too. But how many of you purchased those programs, got really excited, or signed up for something, got really excited, and just never completed it? And you keep telling yourself, I'm going to go back to it. Okay, tomorrow. No, next month. Okay, after this holiday. Okay, as soon as I'm done with this. And someday just never comes. And even if it does, you start again, and there you go. It's gone again. So the missing link, the missing factor to all of this, and what I am offering you guys, and the reason that Jairek Robbins teamed up with me, is that here on iinspire, one of the most beautiful things about this community is the community. And in order to use that community in a smart way, we're going to really bring in accountability. Accountability is the best, most powerful part of our 100-day challenge. And it really all lies on your commitment on both ends, whether you're accountable to other people's success or they're accountable to yours. And you know what? It's funny, but you actually have to be accountable to them being accountable to you as well. Now, Accountability, it simply means that someone else is going to challenge you to step up where you can't do it for yourself. And we all know those areas. We all know that we promise ourselves we're going to have that, new habit. We're going to get up at this hour. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to, do all these things. But something can kind of come up and we can start giving ourselves excuses. Who we can't give excuses to is someone else. And that's accountability. So let's start with accountability buddies. Your accountability buddy is a person that's there to be your mirror, to be your challenger, and to be everything that or to see you the way you want to see yourself. Okay? When you can't see you the way you want to see yourself, they're going to see you that way. And so it's not about hard feelings, and it's definitely not about playing nice and being your best friend. And, if you're on the other side of this and you look at yourself being accountable to someone else, you want to think what that includes from you. It's not about being polite. It's not about being nice. It's about trusting that whatever it is that comes out of the mouth of that person is about me being who I want to be. That's the only thing that comes out of their mouth and about your mouth. So one of your responsibilities as an accountability buddy to someone else is to ask them, and write this down, okay? Accountability buddies, ask them who they want to be, how they want to be, what they want to be. Who are they? Let them paint a picture for you, and you guys can visualize together or you can visualize separately. But who are they for you and for the world? What impact is that going to make? So you want to also ask them why they want to be that. List down 5 reasons why they want to be that. How's it going to affect them? How's it going to change their lives? Who else is it going to have impact on? What's it going to change in the world, in their family, in their community? What kind of legacy is it going to help them, bring forward, put out there? All these things you want to learn from your buddy, and you want to teach your buddy about you. And I know it's harder, so I always give you guys the other side first. But your buddy is going to come up to you and they're going to ask you, who are you? Who do you want to be? Who are you going to become? And from the moment you give them that picture, and from the moment that you tell them why, their only job is to see you as that. And trust me, this is the best exercise that I can give you guys. If you look at that person as who they want to be, you'll always know what to say. You'll always know what to tell them. You won't need to pick your brain out but I'm not a coach. I don't know what to tell them. Trust me, always go back to who they said they were. And let's try to give you an example here, okay? Let's just say me and, give me a name that doesn't exist here. I don't know. Me and Sarah. I don't think we have a Sarah. Me and Sarah here. Okay, you know what? I'll give you my accountability buddy, Jana. I don't think she's on the line today. If you are, you can say hello. But she's actually not. She's on flights today, but she'll be here. My accountability buddy, Jana, here from Israel, who's doing the challenge with us. Is actually, she's incredible. I can't live life without her anymore. But a lot of times, things happen where, I don't follow through with something I said I would do. Or I don't want to wake up in the morning. Or, yes, believe it or not, it happens to me too. The morning call leader. And I don't want to, go to the gym or do something that is really important to me in the long run. And I give myself all the excuses. I don't need to look at what I'm doing. Come on, I'm hosting calls to 91 people every day. Why should I get up for the gym, right? I mean, I could give myself a pat on the back for doing that and, not have to go to the gym. Jana now has this kind of responsibility to be in my face, right? And by now, she knows all the right techniques to do it because she's learned about me. And you guys are going to learn about each other. And in a moment, I'll give you a technique to make it easier on your partner to do that. But Jana will have to be in my face. And if it's a little bit tough for her, because we all fear not being loved, not being liked, it all comes from there. If you don't want to speak up, if you don't want to hold your buddy accountable, it's only that. All she has to do is remember who I am, my purpose. My purpose is empowering millions of people to live a life that they love. If she doesn't get me going, I'm not going to fulfill that mission, right? So if she's empowered by that mission, if she's inspired by that mission, she now knows it's her mission to be in my face so I can go out there and empower millions of people. And there's someone who, I don't know if he's still on the line, but he was on the line before. Asaf, are you here? Really happy to see him here before. I don't know if he's still here. But Asaf is another friend of mine here from Israel.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Hey, Asaf.
Hey. So happy to be here. Thanks.
How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Amazing. So, Asaf, let's give you another example for accountability. Asaf is, how can I even explain you? He's more than a friend. And you know what? Just like you guys are going to feel about each other on your mastermind groups, that's, what Asaf is like for me. He's a leader, an accountability partner, a coach, anything you want to call him. And Asaf, what is something that you would tell me if I don't feel like doing something?
Whoa. Like
what's one of the things you remind me?
Like who you really are. Who you really are for me, who you really are for those dozens of people. That's the first thing I always remind you.
Right. So Asaf, and he does this often, he just, he reminds me that it's not about me. Whatever it is that I'm going out there to do, it's not for me. It's not just for me. I mean, of course it is eventually, but it's not about me. It's about the millions of people that are waiting out there to be empowered because I decided that was my purpose. And the moment that he says that, and the moment that he says I inspire, and he knows it already, I become a different person. And I cannot ever be mad at him for being in my face because that's who I want to be, remember? It's who you want to be. How could you ever be mad at someone who would be in your face for something that you want? Thank you, Asaf, by the way. So excited to have you here.
So excited to be here.
Cool. Yes, so that's just an example of, what your accountability buddy is for you. And if you want to help them out, here's the next stage of what you're going to do with your accountability buddy. You are going to tell them all the ways to be in your face that work. And now, before you've actually experienced the challenge, you want to be as authentic as possible. Trust me. If you want to follow through with the challenge, you want to give them all the little secrets. So tell them, and if your accountability buddy is telling you, your job is to write it down, memorize it, and have it somewhere in store for you so that you can pull it out whenever needed. You want to tell them all the secrets, all the ways of getting in your face, getting you to do something, all the things that they can use as techniques and tools. And lastly, what you want to create with your accountability buddy is you want to talk about different habits that seem to you like they're going to empower you. And you guys are going to get an email about this with some tips about, tips that for example, me and my accountability buddy Jana do. So we wake up. She actually wakes me up. She wakes me up. She gives me two reminder calls and one call that's our morning call that we have together. So I'm already used to that. It got built over time. But you might not know all the habits that you're going to want, and some of them may not work over time, but you're going to want to start with some habits that seem to inspire you. So it doesn't have to be wake me up. Definitely not every day if that doesn't work for you in your schedule. For me, it did. You got to find things that do work for you and that you think would empower you. And one of the things that we do together is we text each other our wins at the end of every day. And I know a lot of people have passed this on and began doing this as well. So 3 wins of today. Sometimes it's not easy to find them. It's like, no, but today I don't have any wins. And then she says, no, I'm not calling you tomorrow morning if you don't write your wins. And I have to find them even when I'm grumpy and upset. And we added in one, not fail, but yeah, one thing that didn't work that day that we can improve on. And then we can see the progress over time, which is really cool. So I'll give you more examples in an email you get separately about your accountability buddies. I just want to run quickly through masterminds. So mastermind groups. You guys are going to want this week to already start engaging with your mastermind groups. I want you guys to know that the mastermind groups still can change a little bit. I've been looking at the file. You guys can change it on your own if you want to kind of step up and not wait for me to do it. But have a look at areas. If, let's say, there's a group and they're all West Coast and one person is East Coast, okay? And then there's another person on the West Coast that's stuck without people from their time zone. Then switch it up. Do talk to each other. Communicate. That's why there's a phone number and an email there. And ask if they mind switching with you. People in Europe. Try to be with people in Europe unless you work on different time zones for some reason. All kinds of things like that. If your group is all leaders, everyone's yes, and then there are 2 other groups that everyone's a no, then somebody step up, and then tell your group, I love you guys to bits, and I'll always be there to support you, but I'm going to go and move over there because they need a leader. So unless you guys do it on your own, I'll probably go out there and do it myself. So if you guys see changes, it's not the worst day of your life, and it's not a reason for a breakdown. It's a reason to really bring yourself into that accountability of bringing all that you can bring to your group. So like I said, once again, there's no right or wrong group. There's only what you bring to the group. Every time you have a complaint, hold on a minute, look at yourself first, and ask yourself, what else could I be doing in order to make this powerful for me? So you want to begin to engage with your groups, seeing, what times they can meet, what times they can't meet. And preferably by our next call, have your first meeting. Have your first meeting somehow, some way. Preferably have your first meeting. And if they change it up, it's okay. So you'll change groups and you'll have a different meeting. But you'll get another email about that, okay? So you want to start engaging, seeing who they are, and getting ready for your first session, and you'll get more information in your email. As you see, you guys want to be tapped into your email, and you want to be accountable to your group, to your mastermind group in ways like those. Like maybe someone didn't get an email, so maybe one person takes upon himself every time there's an email to send reminders to everyone. Hey, have you guys noticed the email? Or every time there's a call like this, stepping up, knowing who's going to show up for the call, the weekly call, who's not, and why. Number 1 on your priority list with your mastermind group is communication. Everything and anything could be communicated. You can't show up to a meeting. It's not the end of the world, but when does it become the end of the world? When you didn't say anything and you didn't show up, or when you came in the middle, or when you were doing it while you were doing something else and it wasn't very empowering for your team, or when you didn't show up time and time again. You cannot show up, but what would it look like if you told them 3 days beforehand, hey, listen, you guys, and from a place of not your excuses, you know, not telling them, hey, listen, you guys, I can't be on the call because I have so many things to do and my work and my this. And my, do you think the team cares? Well, yeah, they care because they love you, but you think the excuses are going to make it better? Oh, maybe if I find a big enough excuse, then they'll be okay with it. It's really not about that. It's about your group. What is the impact on your group? Why did they want you to be there? Maybe because when you are there, remember that huge, amazing, incredible leader is there, then things happen. Things get created that won't be created without you. So what would it look like if 3 days beforehand when you told them you wouldn't show up, you would say, I'm not showing up, and I realize what that's going to cause in the group. And I realize you guys are going to miss me. I realize you guys are not going to come up with the same things that you came up with. So here's a list of ideas that I've created for you beforehand. And you know what? Record that meeting for me, and I promise I'll listen to it. You know, think about them. What can you do? It's not about making it to the meeting. It doesn't matter. Don't make it to the meeting. But make the impact, you know, make that restored. Make sure that that's restored in a way. Communicate that. As long as you communicate that they're still loved, that they're still supported, that you're still accountable to them, they'll be empowered. You'll get more information about that soon. We want to hop on to some opportunities. So just beforehand, you guys have been sitting here so nicely, and we're wrapping up the call soon. And those of you who can stay a few minutes, we'll have a Q&A at the end of this. Just it'll be recorded, so those of you who can't participate in it, we'll upload it later. I'm going to actually do the Q&A separately. I'm going to stop this recording, have a recording of the Q&A for those of you who just want to do the Q&A, because this is a huge call and not a lot of people are going to be able to, not everyone is going to be able to share. So if you have more questions, you'll have an opportunity to ask them on our Facebook group. If you want to stay on for an extra 10 minutes, it's kind of why these calls end at, you know, depending what your time zone is, but at 2, a certain hour, we're going to have a Q&A at the end. Okay? So before I wrap this up, let's just shake our booties. Let's stretch our bodies a little bit. You guys got a lot of information. You guys got a lot of tension around, you know, what was going on. But it's really about having fun and rocking your goals. So let's do that by just celebrating a little bit. And I want you guys to take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Unmute yourself. Put your hands up above your head. Stretch a little bit. And then another stretch. Take out your bodies. And celebrate if you feel good, you guys. Yes. How are you guys feeling about rocking these 100 days with all of these incredible people here? Yes. I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds just to really rock out and get a sense of that. Ready? Let's rock out. Sorry, I'm working the music here. Here we go. Woo! I want to hear you guys. Some noise. Yes. All right. Right before we wrap this up, I want to mention something incredible that Jairek and I came up with for you guys, okay? And this is really exciting. And I really want you guys to take this seriously. So, you guys know that, first of all, there is one more day for registration. So, people in your lives, it's all about that. But I'll step it up a notch. a couple of days ago, we got an idea from one of the volunteers who are helping here, who I'm going to acknowledge in a moment. I discussed it with Jairek, and we were trying to figure out a way for you guys to really get the best and the most out of this challenge by inviting more people from your lives to experience this challenge. Now, I know the thoughts that are going up in your head, it's all those things maybe about the people in your life that you've thought about having on this challenge, or the ones that you're hesitating if to tell about this challenge, for all kinds of reasons, right? All kinds of really valid reasons for why not everyone in your life is doing the challenge. But if you really think about it, there's at least one person that you'd really want to have there. And if you really think about it, if your life was surrounded by people doing the challenge, just imagine it for a moment. Imagine your day, you wake up, you make your, not coffee, we don't drink coffee here, right? You make your tea, you go out for your walk. Who are the people you normally, bump into? Maybe you have kids, you bump into your kid's teacher, maybe it's the other moms, maybe, you're going to work out, you bump into the people at the gym. What if everyone was on the challenge? What if you went to the gym and everyone was like, yo, man, that video from Jairek this morning, wow, did you get it? Or someone else, you were having a regular conversation with someone and they said, you know what I learned from my accountability buddy today? Or, you go to work and they tell you, remember that mastermind session you had? Let's, work on that. Just think about what life would look like if everyone was accountable to everyone's success, if everyone was stepping up in life, if everyone was going towards their goals. What a wonderful, incredible world that would be. But you have reasons, right? You have so many reasons, and they're valid. Come on, these people, they don't get you. They'll think you're crazy. At work, no, you're not important enough to, come out there and make decisions. Your boss, you're not going to talk to your boss about doing a challenge. Oh, it's ridiculous. That friend of yours, she's not supporting anything that you're doing around self-development. She doesn't get it. All these things, all these areas, because I have a real commitment to empower millions of people to live a life that they love, and I can't do it alone. I want to invite you guys to step up. I want to invite you guys to be unreasonable, to put all those reasons aside, be unreasonable. And remember what I told you at the beginning of this call, how you show up for these calls and what you do here is what you reflect on your world, in your life. So if you can go out there and be unreasonable and invite someone from your life, what other things could you be unreasonable about throughout this challenge or after? So in order to kind of step that up a notch and give you a reason why to do it, Jairek and I have thought of something that would blow your socks off. We sat there and we said, what could be the best incentive? What can really motivate them to bring at least one person on the challenge? And our answer that we came up with is we're going to grant you an entry to a raffle. This raffle is going to grant one person, it's going to grant them free coaching with me and Jairek throughout this challenge. Yes, free one-on-one coaching with me. Yes, and with Jairek. That means 3 coaching calls every month to make sure that you are getting 100,000% of what you want throughout this challenge. And trust me, I'm going to work with you in ways that no one has worked with you before. Woo! You are going to be an example to everyone of what can be possible if you work with me. And I'm offering this for free, okay? Plus, Jairek is going to come on board at the end of the challenge when you've accomplished things, when you've gotten all together, but now you have to go out in the real world and you got to implement these things and keep going. And he's going to give you a session, an unforgettable, incredible session that's worth so much, okay? The value of this package is almost $2,000. And we're going to give that to the winner of the raffle. Now, every person that you're going to register and prove that they haven't been here, it started 3 days before the end of registration. So from 2 days ago until, and this is the fun, exciting point that I want to make, is you guys are getting an extension until Wednesday. The challenge entry is closed. The registration for other outside people is going to be closed. You're going to get a special link if you want to invite your friends. They're going to be able to enter, and they're going to go straight. That's going to go straight into your raffle entry. Okay. So in order to enter, you got to bring a friend. Each friend grants you another entrance. So you want to bring 10,000 because you'll definitely win, right? Now, we wanted to give an additional bonus. We said, okay, only one person's going to win the raffle, but what about all the other people bringing in, their friends? We wanted to throw in another bonus. So we decided that every person who brings 2 people or more, but 2 people, not only are they getting 2 entrances to the raffle, right? But they're going to get an autographed signed book by Jairek Robbins shipped to their mailbox as a gift from Jairek. And I see a lot of guys going, woo, silently. So yes, so that's something Jarek's going to grant. Every person who brings 2 people, you're going to see more about this in your emails. You're going to understand how to go through it, what the process is, what you need to prove. But I really just encourage you, go out there, step it up, make this a story of your life, be unreasonable, and remember, you could do what you're doing for your accountability. When you talk to your friend and you're not sure how to say it, see them as who they want to be. And if these are friends in your life or family members, you know who they want to be. Speak to that, and I promise you, miracles will happen. Don't speak to the person who doesn't believe in themselves. Don't be better than them because you're on this challenge. You're not better than them. Who here thinks they're better than people not doing the challenge? Honestly. Yeah, I know. You guys are not raising your hand. No, not me. Come on. I don't think so. But we all know that we talk to some people, and we have the morning calls, and we have the iinspire, we have all these things. And on some level, we think we're better than them. We are not better than anyone because we're on this challenge. We're not. You're not better than anyone because you're on this challenge. That person who decided that they don't believe in self-development and hate what you're doing, they're not less than you in any way. The only difference between you and them is that you took on a responsibility. You took on a responsibility to live your life to the fullest, regardless of what anyone else says. And you took an extra responsibility of proving what that can make and inspiring others to slowly shift, but inspire by example, okay? Become a leader. So it's not about thinking that you're better. It's about actually thinking that they are better than anything that they have seen for themselves so far. And focus on that. Speak to that with love, and you'll accomplish what you want, and you'll have your friends here on board, just like I have Asaf, and I'm going to have Jana, and I'm going to have so many incredible people from my life. So I invite you to do that. Step up to the challenge. And I want to hear who's on the challenge with me, so you can unmute yourself. And if you're on the challenge with me, say yes! Yes! All right, we're about to wrap the call, and I just want to end by giving a special thanks, okay? And this is really important to me. So this is really when you want to prepare to celebrate, because there have been some people that all of this happening right now, right here, and everything could not have been possible without. And honestly, there are more people than the ones I'm going to say, but I want to give a huge special thanks to some people who it would just really did not make any sense that they took the time they took off of their schedule and did the things that they did throughout this past week. Like, I cannot believe the things that these people have done. And I know a lot of you guys have no idea what that is. And some of you guys know a little bit because you heard from them. You saw, they spoke to you personally. But seriously, there was so much going on behind the scenes, and all voluntarily out of, just the love in their hearts, out of the, sharing the purpose of empowering people, out of their leadership, these are the examples of who we're becoming here on iinspire and as a team. And this is your new family here. So I want to really just give a huge thanks to, I'm going to read them out just so I don't forget anybody. I'm going to start with power team members. So you want to unmute yourselves here. And let's give a real serious round of applause to people from the power team members. The power team. Give it up for Heather! Give it up for Carolyn! To Greg! Give it up to Greg! Greg! To Horia! Gina! Amazing Gina! Round of applause to the power team! A real special round of applause to people who were not even on the power team but still volunteered and put in more time and more effort than we even, they blew us away. Me and the power team were like, what have we created? These are monsters. That's how committed they were to making this work for everybody. So let's give it up one by one. First of all, to Laura! Give it up to Laura! Give it up to Ryan! Ryan the rock star! Woo! Give it up to Anna! Anna! And of course, Carmel! Give it up to Carmel! And to Nini! Give it up to Nini! Yes, round of applause to all the iinspire volunteers. And as you do get a round of applause, I just want you to really, really get in your heart, beyond the applause, beyond the wooing, just really get in the heart the love that they're giving you. They really care. They care so much that, they worked. They worked hard for you guys to make sure that you get, incredible, outstanding customer service, that you have all your answers questions, I have a thing with saying answers questions, all your questions answered, and they still are out there supporting. And of course, beyond this, I want to give a special thanks to Stuart Allison. I don't know if he's here, but he knows why. He helped make this possible. And a very special round of applause to Jairek Robbins! Yes. You guys, Jairek really went out of his way. He went out of his way to just listen to the crazy idea that I had to bring this all to you and team up. He, put things aside and put out a program out there, made it available for you that's not available anywhere else. He dropped the price dramatically so that all of you guys can register, and now even extended that for 4 days for your friends. And he's going to be on these calls with us. This is a person, you pay thousands of dollars to show up at an event. And he's going to be here with you just to hear your successes, to motivate you, to really just have fun and party with you and make sure that you feel you're 100% focused on what you can accomplish. And, just for him being amazing and having a huge, incredible, outstanding purpose in this world. Let's give it up to him one more time. Yes, so he can hear you. Yes. And one last special thanks. And this thanks is really important for me. So I want you guys to really get it. Okay? This thanks is to each and every one of you. Woo! Thank you Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know I cannot speak to each of you individually, but I am speaking to each of you individually. Thank you for being so incredibly outstanding, out freaking standing, for not settling for just a mediocre life, for not settling for just living life at a regular, normal kind of way, for putting your complaints aside, for putting your, your reasons aside, and for stepping up in life, committing to spending 100 days doing things that will, empower you to be who you can be in this world. And I know that each of you here, that each of you on iinspire has a bigger purpose than, just yourself and who you are. You're all major, major contributors. And you being on this call here and you being a part of this group and in the accountability buddies and in the mastermind groups is making a huge difference already. And I can't even imagine how much of a difference it's going to create throughout these 100 days and then throughout the 100 years in the next 100 years of life on this earth. Okay, so I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. And I want you to thank yourself. Thank yourself for being that small percentage of the world that actually goes out there and does this. It's not a given. It's not another normal thing. It doesn't happen out there. You are that extraordinary. You are that amazing. So give a huge round of applause to yourself. Yes! Woo! Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, Yahli.
If you freaking rock, come here and say yes. All right, walk out 20 seconds, you guys. Woo! Woo! God, it's hot in here. Thank you so much, you guys, for showing up today. We're going to start the program tomorrow. Be in touch with your email. Be in touch with your buddies. Be in touch with everybody. You're going to see things being updated in the next couple of days. Going to get the hang of it. Sit, do the things that you said you do today. If one of you wants to step up today and they wrote notes and they want to post them on Facebook, that would be incredible. So do that. Post your notes for other people. Let's begin to be this sharing community and care about each other and bring everyone to the next level here in the next 100 days. Let's be fully committed to everything that we can be. And I love you guys. We'll see you here next week. Have an incredible, awesome, amazing week. If you want to stay for questions, feel free. Woo! Bye, everyone.